I have watched folks on the right. I have watched them just say everything. I've watched their actions. I mean, I'm looking at the pathetic Lieutenant Governor of Texas, Dan Patrick. I have watched this man. I watched them last week celebrate the release from prison via a pardon of a racist white man who killed a white Black Lives Matter protester. And they talked about and gave him his gun rights back. That's right. And they talked about, how this was important and this man stood his ground. Yet today, here's the same Dan Patrick. Here we go to my iPad. Today's guilty verdict against President Trump is an absolute travesty of our judicial system. There was no crime, and the prosecution's star witness was a convicted liar and an admitted thief. The judge was biased against President Trump throughout the entire trial. This will be reversed at some point, but the Democrats got what they wanted, to prosecute and persecute a man they know they cannot beat in November. If the justice system can do this to a former president, it can do it to anyone in America. That should frighten every American. New York and Biden have turned our country into a third world style justice system that goes after political opponents like you see in Russia or North Korea. It's a sad day for America. He is defending somebody who has said if he's elected again, he is going after his political opponents. He is defending a man who said, if I get elected, I will unleash the IRS against my political opponents, who literally argued in court that a president can have a political rival assassinated. I want them to feel all this damn pain for because again, these people have no bottom. Mm-hmm. And if you got to get his ass by any means necessary. Especially because again, the bottom line is you can't just keep letting somebody flout, go, look at all Democrats. I don't know how people gonna react if we go after him. Y'all don't say it to nobody black. You has break the law. It's black. Who's the brother? Sat in Rikers Island for 3 damn years, accused of stealing a backpack, and they got
Haley Browder.
Right. So I don't give a damn about this punk ass getting convicted. You go after fools like this because you know what? They ain't got no problem going after other people.
Yeah, I mean, the double standard and hypocrisy is not breaking news. I mean, we've known that the entire time. They don't apply the rules to themselves. We understand that. But I don't know that the real victory here is about, 34 invoices involving Michael Cohen. The real victory is what
they got Al Capone on tax evasion and he murdered people.
Yeah, okay. So this guy is running for president, is going to be the Republican nominee, and in 159 days, we find out where the real victory is. The real victory is who gets elected president of the United States.
You damn right.
159
and
days.
And
so,
if this verdict
feel good, and I'm sure it does feel good for a lot of people, and that's fine. By the letter of the law, what Alvin Bragg has done here is accurate. I'm not arguing that. What I'm saying is this is there's two things. One is the obviously more serious case is the election interference case, where we had a bunch of lunatics show up at the United States Capitol in an effort to block the certification of a presidential election.
Okay, but Lauren, that's the more serious. Lauren, that's the more serious case.
Obviously, that's the more important case. If you read the counts, if you read the 34 counts,
when is that going? But here's the deal, though. Okay, that's the more important trial.
Great. I'm glad.
But Lauren, here's what I'm confused.
What I'm saying is,
no, hold on, wait. Hold on one second. I gotta ask you a question. You say that's the more serious deal. Here's the reality. If you broke the law in multiple ways, okay, and there are multiple trials, okay, you can rank them 1, 2, 3, 4. You can say the Letitia James case wasn't that big of a deal. It was. So this notion that what's more serious compared to this one is irrelevant if you broke the law.
That's what I just said, Roland, if you were listening. What I said was, it's great. He broke the law. The letter of the law is what it is. Alvin Bragg is correct on that. What I am saying is that these cases, when you have someone who was the president of the United States who is about to be on the ballot for a second time, who has a chance, who has, I think, a fairly good chance of being reelected, one would think that somebody, Merrick Garland, Alvin Bragg, Tish James, whoever that might be, may want to pick the most serious case to
They can't, Lauren. They can't. Merrick Garland. Merrick Garland is the Attorney General of the United States. He has no authority over Fonnie Willis. Alvin Bragg has no authority over Fonnie Willis. So when you say they got
we're not talking about Rollo on the street corner. We're talking about a guy that.
But Lauren, when you say they got to pick,
going to be on the ballot again.
But that's nonsensical to say they have. Lauren, it's nonsensical to say they have to pick when they literally have no jurisdiction.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Do you think that these people don't coordinate? Do you think that you think Tish James and Alvin Bragg don't talk to each other?
They literally have no jurisdiction. None. How in the hell could they pick? What role could Letitia James and Alvin Bragg have in talking to Fonnie Willis? What role? What role could she? Hold on, 1 second. What role could Fonnie Willis have telling Alvin Bragg, slow your case down? She has no role.
I'll say it this way. This entire time, this entire campaign with regard to Joe Biden, he's been running the campaign as a vote for me because the other guy is crazy. We all know the other guy is crazy. We know the other guy is immoral. We know the other guy broke the law. We all understand that. That has not worked as witnessed by what we're seeing in most of the polling. I don't think all these polls could be wrong. Maybe they could be wrong, but I doubt it. So that strategy of trying to argue that vote for me because there's something wrong with the other guy doesn't necessarily work even at this moment where we have a 34 count conviction.
Okay.
Because as we know, the MAGA Republicans, as you know, Roland, very well, they don't care about morality. They don't care about the rule of law. They don't care about fairness. So what I'm saying is the real victory is in 159 days. The real answer to it that works is the election, not this moment.
COVID happened, poor people were dying at a rate already of 800 people a day. Before COVID, if you went to a funeral every single day, it would take you 600 years to attend all the funerals of the people who will die from the ravages of policy violence, poverty, and low wages in America in just 1 year. It would take you 2 years and 19 days to go to all of the funerals of the people that will die today, and oftentimes silence. Nobody talks about this political genocide, but we are determined today to remember their death and be a resurrection of voting power and voice power like never before.
Economic justice and saving this democracy are deeply connected. We, as a nation, must listen to the demands of the poor, who are pushing and will continue to push political candidates and elected leaders to lift from the bottom so that everybody can rise.
Take back the mic, take back the mic, take back the mic, take back the mic.
We are the poor, the marginalized, and the underpaid. And we are taking one step forward to say that everybody has a right to live.
Poverty is not the fault of those who are impoverished. It is caused by those who make the policy.
There are over 135 million poor and low-wage, low-income people in this nation.
The biggest block of potential voters by far is low-income, low-wage voters.
I can't afford medicine. Sometimes I have to skip because of the cost.
The farm worker community is tired of the violence imposed upon us by greed, exclusion, and denial of basic human rights.
Those folk that represented by that casket, poor and low-wage workers who are the most moral people in this country because they go to work every day believing, even though going to work is hazardous to their health.
I'm tired of working 70 to 80 hours a week and still not have money for the necessity of bills. I'm tired of getting sick and not being able to go see the doctor, having to make a choice to pay between rent or the light bill or food or clothes.
You cannot claim to care about families and a culture of life and then do everything in your power to rob people of equal access to resources and to force them to live in poverty.
Leadership of both parties have waged war on poor people and low-wage workers.
And this government has treated people experiencing poverty, including their military families, with disdainful, deliberate, malicious neglect.
So the truth is that my son died from poverty.
We refuse to accept poverty as the fourth leading cause of death.
The fourth leading cause of death in this, the richest country in the world.
We march today for our children and the generations to come.
And we need to do it with the loudest voices possible, the biggest actions possible.
We will voice our demands and register our vote.
When we stand up and when we stand together, things change.
There is the electorate that is, and then there is the electorate that should be.
34 million eligible poor and low-income voters did not vote in 2016. If just 20% of those voters in swing states were mobilized around an agenda, they could change the political outcome of every election. So we're launching the most massive voter mobilization and turnout campaign in history of poor and low-wage voters, allies, and religious leaders.
People are dying, but we know it doesn't have to be this way. And so we are calling on everyone to join us in this Poor People's Campaign, a national call for more revival.
We are here, we will be seen, we will be heard, and our power will be felt. We don't need to be an insurrection. We are a resurrection that will be felt across this country. Are you ready? Ready, ready, ready. We are a resurrection, and we are ready.